Welcome to today's lesson on project management processes. Management processes include managing the scope of project activities, managing knowledge from previous projects, controlling resources and budget, monitoring quality, managing communications, and external contracting. Knowledge management is a key process that leverages experience from previous projects while encouraging the creation of new knowledge. This knowledge can be both technical and organizational. It is usually related to processes, communication, risk management, and other aspects of project implementation. Knowledge management ensures that the lessons learned during the current project are documented and passed on so that future teams can use them to improve results. The goal is not only to improve the project implementation, but also to build organizational learning that creates a strategic advantage for the institution in the long term. Knowledge management should be integrated from the very beginning of the project so that it becomes a natural part of the working process. Project scope management is another important component of the management processes because it defines exactly what will be included in the project and what will remain outside its boundaries. This covers both the characteristics of the final product and all the work that needs to be carried out in order to deliver it. If your project is for the construction of a parish center, the scope may include the building works, the installation of the electrical system, the facade, and the furnishing without necessarily covering maintenance after handover. Scope management requires continuous communication with stakeholders, validation of results, and control of every change. It is important to monitor whether the work being carried out aligns with the predefined objectives to ensure the project is completed successfully and within the agreed conditions. Cost management is another element of management processes and involves planning, estimating, allocating, and controlling the project's financial resources. The process begins with drawing up forecasts of the necessary funds, continues with their expenditure, and ends with controlling the actual costs. Every deviation from the budget must be identified in good time and analyzed. Cost management also includes assessing financial risk and applying corrective actions when necessary. For projects with external funding, such as those under European programs, precise budget management is a mandatory requirement and a key factor for transparency and accountability. For projects funded by the European Union, the budget usually cannot be increased once it has been approved. That is why it is particularly important to plan the budget realistically and precisely already at the project preparation stage. During implementation, internal reallocations of funds between different budget lines may be made, provided this does not endanger the achievement of the objectives and planned results. A reduction of the budget is possible when savings are made or certain activities are cancelled. In all cases, any change must be well justified, approved by the funding authority, and reflected in the financial reports. Quality is what gives value to the project results. Its management includes three main aspects: planning, implementation, and control. First, we need to define what quality means in the specific context. Is it technical standards, the expectations of the target groups, or the organization's internal criteria? In the planning phase, we define what quality means in the specific context, whether this refers to technical standards, the expectations of the target groups, or the organization's internal criteria. At this stage, we also decide how quality will be measured, which tools and methods will be used, and who will be responsible for monitoring it. During implementation, we monitor whether the results meet these criteria. At the end of the project, we carry out an evaluation. Through continuous improvement, collecting feedback, and applying corrective measures, we ensure that the final result will be useful, usable, and sustainable. Resource management is another key component of the management processes. It must ensure that all necessary elements are available and used efficiently. This requires planning needs, assessing available resources, organizing supplies, and coordinating between the participants. It is important to make a realistic estimate of how many people and materials will be needed for each activity. In addition, a good team spirit must be fostered through the development and motivation of the team members. Communication is the invisible link that ensures quality project management. Effective communication means the timely delivery of accurate, complete, and understandable information to all participants in the project. Communication management involves creating a communication plan, selecting appropriate channels, monitoring and adapting as needed. In EU-funded projects, there are mandatory requirements for publicity and transparency. These include using the European Union logo, the logo of the program funding the project, publishing information, and delivering clear messages about the co-financing. External contracting is another essential part of managing projects funded by the European Union. It ensures that all goods, services, and construction works financed with public funds are awarded in line with the principles of transparency, equal treatment, and efficiency. External contractors are usually engaged for activities that the beneficiary cannot carry out independently with its own resources or expertise. Each contract award must be well justified, based on a clearly identified need, and in accordance with the pre-planned budget. Already at the project design stage, the activities that will be outsourced to external contractors must be clearly defined. Once the project is approved, the beneficiary conducts selection procedures in accordance with the requirements of the program and with national and European legislation. Public calls must include clear criteria for selecting contractors and for contract performance. Compliance with horizontal principles, such as non-discrimination, gender equality, and sustainable development, as well as the transparent use of funds, is mandatory. Any breaches may lead to loss of funding and legal consequences. Monitoring and control are continuous processes throughout the project. They include tracking progress, assessing performance, identifying deviations, and taking corrective actions. European programs require interim and final reports, as well as financial statements. Result and impact indicators are used to measure the actual achievement of the objectives. Control may be exercised both by the project manager and by the contracting authority through checks, monitoring visits, and audits. Accurate monitoring helps to correct problems in time and to ensure the successful completion of the project. Final evaluation and ex-post evaluation are key to the sustainability and usefulness of the results. Technical and financial reporting are critically important for any project funded with public money. Technical reporting includes documenting the activities carried out, the project's progress, and the objectives and results achieved. This is done through interim and final technical and financial reports, accompanied by evidence such as attendance lists, photos, products, and other materials. Financial reporting reflects the project expenditures and their compliance with the approved budget. Each expense must be supported by original accounting documents and reported transparently and verifiably. Electronic project management systems are often used to facilitate the process of control and verification. Inaccuracies or incomplete reports may lead to financial corrections or the repayment of funds. That is why reporting requires precision, timeliness, and full compliance with the program's requirements. Thank you for watching this video.